back. Sorry about that. The game stage just kicked in, so we had to kind of cut off before you couldn't hear anything. We are now back, and we are going to be looking at the Antec 1100. So this is one of your like top end cases right now. It's like one of the
absolutely
most premium.
It's a new flagship product. Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
So you can taste it through the features.
Yeah. So we've kept with the gaming theme. We've kept the honeycomb finish, but we've tried to make it a little bit more stealth looking. Right? We've got USB 3, USB 2, and audio on the top as standard. You've got your power and reset buttons on the top of your case rather than reaching down to the front. Everyone knows you've got your case on the floor. It's very easy then just to literally bend down rather than all the way down. Now this front panel again pops off quite nicely to reveal a nice removable dust filter. Again, the plastic nylon, so you can just wash it, stick it back in, obviously when it's dry, and then plop your case back on. There's no need to unscrew the side panels when doing that. It's very, very simple. Okay. Another feature of the dust filter on the cases is there's a side dust filter for your PSUs. Again, if you've got your PC up against the wall in a corner, the worst thing you want to do is move it to get an air filter out of the back of the case. So you put it in the side. Okay. In the front, you've also got an option to fit two 120mm fans to create full push through over your graphics cards and your drive. Okay. Now, on the side window, you've got the option for two 120mm fans, again, to keep your GPUs cool. And they're mounted by rubber grommets, which means that you're going to reduce any vibration through the side of the case and the fans. All right. Nice big side window there, so you can see all of your lovely lit up components.
It actually looks a lot bigger inside than I thought it was going to before you took off the side. I know that sounds stupid and strange.
No, absolutely. So they are very deceiving cases. This case can actually take up to XL80X motherboards. There's very few cases that can do that right now.
So such as like the Gigabyte UD7 and stuff
absolutely.
like that.
Without any problem, it will house this. It will house that motherboard. And any other
Extreme, Rampage Extreme.
Just any extreme component that you have out right now will fit in this case. Okay, this case is future-proofed as well, right? You've got in the side of the case, obviously you've got a rear-mounted a bottom-mounted power supply with a side dust filter. Again, I said you've got the two 120mm fans in the front here on the side of the drive space. Obviously your drives will come in here. Then you've got the option for two 120mm fans on this side as well. You can also put a 240mm rad there if you really want. Okay. So you've got your cable management holes here as well, with rubber grommet lines to help protect your cabling. So and you've got 3.6 centimetres of cable management room behind the motherboard tray.
That's enough to stick a Molex lengthways.
Molex is parallel, and you can still sit the side panel on without it bowing.
Wow.
Fantastic. Wow. So you've obviously got your cable tie managements here as well for the rear of the case. As I say, you've got the USB 3 headers, USB 2, and what have you.
Does this one come with the actual converter to USB 2 as well, or not?
This one doesn't, because we understand that if you're going to be spending £110 on a case, you're likely to be spending a couple of hundred on it. Absolutely. So it's probably unnecessary for us to do that. Now, the drive bays in here, we've got 5 1/4, we've got two 2.5-inch drive bays, and 6 3.5-inch drive bays. Now the reason in this 1100 is you can have 6 3.5-inch drives mounted, again via tension mounted brackets. These are fantastic. You can actually put your drive in them, give it a shake, and your drive isn't going to come off. You can actually just hold your drive and it won't come off. It's fantastic.
So again, good for taking to like a LAN party or something like that. You don't really have to worry.
Easy install. The only thing you need screws for in our case is to screw your motherboard on. That's it.
I've actually used these, and I've always been one that whenever I go to a LAN party, even if it's got like the toolless kind of construction, I never use it. I'll always take it out. These actually do work, so
yeah. So obviously you've got the metal pins, but they're also mounted by rubber as well to help reduce any vibration through the spindle discs. As I say, you've got the two 2.5-inch options here as well, which again are tension mounted, so you don't even need to screw them in, but you can if you want at the side. Once the side panel's on, they're going nowhere, so there's no need. 5 1/4-inch drive bays again, they're all toolless mounted as well. Fantastically done, very, very good quality clicking those. You literally slide it in and it'll clip into place and it's going nowhere. To remove it, you just pull this out, slide it back, and it's open. Alright? Now, on this side here, this is pretty cool. We've got 9 expansion slots, right? And they're all thumb screws as well. Okay, so you can have your quad SLI and an additional card, maybe a sound card or something, but quad SLI. Check it out.
And even if it's the Assassin, I take it as well with the slots.
Absolutely. So that's obviously the front of the case, but the back of the case is just as beautiful. Okay. You've got on the rear panel, you've got the option to mount a rear-mounted 120mm fan to help cool the back of your CPU bracket. And as I said, there is acres of room at the back of this chassis.
That is actually surprisingly deep.
Very deep, especially with the extra bowing to help fit in the 120mm fan. Right. Now, we've also dropped the motherboard slightly so we can actually have cable management come over the top. Because a lot of motherboard power connectors are up in the top corner and But also another reason we've got this hole here is to help with the cable management of our fan hub. Okay? From the back you can actually control the colour of whether you have the LED on the big boy 200mm fan on the top. You can actually control whether you have it on or off. You can control the speed of your fans as well if you hook it up with the switches and you put them in. But in here, and if you come in closer you'll be able to see it, up in here you've got a fan hub, 3-pin fan hub which is powered by a modex. Okay, so some motherboards don't have enough fan controllers, you can have them here. You can use this or your motherboard, it's entirely your choice.
Yeah.
I think I've pretty much covered that one. Anything you have any questions about?
Yeah, I've got one more question. I'm just trying to think, if I want to stick a rad, would I be able to fit one in here?
No, the rad would go there. So obviously, one thing I forgot to mention, you can actually fit up to 13.5-inch graphics cards in here as well, so full-length cards will fit in this, no problem.
That's always a good thing, the amount of people, like, when I used to work in hardware, that I'd come in simply to buy a new case because they wanted a new graphics card. It's just getting... Yeah.
So as I say, this is the Enthusiast gaming case. This is our new flagship product, retailing around £110. Okay? Now, this particular chassis is almost identical to our next flagship product, which is the P280. Now this is aimed at the gaming and enthusiast, so obviously it's all about cooling and using the highest components, right? So we've got all the nice mesh. So we move on to the P280, and as you can see, this is like the next step up from our P183, P184, P190, and what have you. So
it just looks silent.
It's a beautiful case. It's all about quiet computing, right? So we designed this case. We've designed both of these cases to basically house the best possible components that you can, and obviously with the best cooling also. So you've got the anodized aluminium front panel. With the and it's a plastic door with the sound dampening material on the inside here as well. You open the door to reveal 3 5.25-inch drive bays and a very easily accessible 2 dual fan dust filters. Thank you very much. Made out of plastic nylon, so it washes quite nicely. You can stick it back on there. Again, with the 1100, you've got the P280 with the 120 options in the front as well to create pull across your drives. Right. And again on the front, you've got USB 3, USB 2 and audio, and the buttons are at the top rather than inside the door. Okay. You've got a 270 degree door, which obviously bends all the way back so it's not going to snap off. Right. Now, the subtle differences between the two. Okay, obviously you've got the front panel, which is sound dampening. Right? You've also got the side panel, which is sound dampening, which is just like Solo 2 that we talked about earlier, where you've got the dual steel, and then you've got the sound dampening panel as well. I mean, feel the weight of that. It's dual steel, and it's got sound dampening panel. That probably weighs the same weight as what the Antec one does.
Almost really does.
Again, you've got the the side-mounted dust filter for your PSU. You've got all the usual cable grommets, and as you can see, it looks identical in the actual build-up of this chassis, so I won't go all over it again. What I will do is I'll tell you the other features of this product. So, 3.5-inch drive mounts are not toolless. Okay, but they're a plastic bracket. They're very pliable, very bendable, very pliable. They're not going to snap. They're not going to break. Now we've got rubber grommets on the 3.5-inch drives because obviously they're spindle drives. They're going to create vibration and noise, and this is all about quiet computing. So there you go. We can also mount 2.5-inch drives in here as well. Now they are going to be screwed on. The likelihood is you're going to have an SSD, and even laptop drives don't really spin. 2.5-inch drives, sorry, don't really spin that fast anyway. So they're not going to cause a massive amount of vibration. Again, they just slide in, clip in, very, very simple. And again, with your 2.5-inch drives up here as well, you've got your tension mounts there that you have. You've got two 120mm fans on the top.
I'm pretty certain in this one you could fit a rad at the top as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, once you've actually take the fans off here and fit the very easy. And they are the only differences between the two cases. This one is ultra quiet, this one is ultra cool.
There you go. Nice fancy lights in the front makes all the difference. I really do like how you put thumb screws on all the...
Yeah, so it's very easy to take your cards in. Get the cards in and out.
I've got like 2 graphics cards, I've got like 1 screw.
All the PCI slots are all vented as well.
That's really good. Thanks a lot for talking to us.